In the book of Acts, the first chapter, Jesus is about to ascend up into heaven. Now, think about this. The perfect scenario in the mind of the disciple, listening to Jesus, following him around for the last 3.5 years, the perfect scenario is everything's going to be back to the way it was. We're going to move back into Israel and we're going to have our stuff back. God has given us this land, right? But God had a little bit more planned for the disciples. If you look at the way things happen in the book of Acts, you notice that not only are they getting their stuff back, quote unquote, but God is expanding their influence beyond the things that they were comfortable with before. They just wanted to move back into their apartment. They just wanted to go back home. They just wanted to do all those things, but Jesus was giving them even more to do from that. So in Acts chapter 1, verse 8, we see something maybe that sounds a little bit familiar, but I wanted to talk a little bit about it today. They're asking questions like, hey, when are you going to restore the kingdom of Israel? We've heard rumors of this. You're the king of Israel. All makes sense, right? But Jesus kind of one-ups him on this. And he gives him something a little bit uncomfortable, to be honest. He says, you'll receive power when the Holy Spirit comes on you, and you will be my witnesses in Jerusalem, and in Judea and Samaria, and to the ends of the earth. You see, when the Holy Spirit comes on you, what he's saying here, and we see that in Pentecost a little bit later, so we're looking forward a little bit, he's giving them specific instructions and a foretelling of what is going to happen. He says, first, you're going to be my witnesses in Jerusalem. Jerusalem is this place, we're comfortable with it, right? It's our surroundings, it's our home. And if you look at the rest of what he's saying symbolically, then it shows you a little bit of where his heart is. So Jerusalem, I'm used to this, I know this place, it's my home. Judea, okay, we're expanding, so we're going out to the greater group here, and this is including obviously Jews and Gentiles, so we're okay with that. We could use an expansion of this whole movement here. But then he mentions Samaria. And Samaria, to me, when I look at that, that represents the greater population that I am uncomfortable with. If you think about it, there was this deep animosity between Judeans and Samaritans, right? There was like a racial tension, there was an ethnic tension, there was a lot of things, and to each other were considered outsiders. So Judea and Samaria, God is wanting us to take this outside of our comfort zone, but then he adds to the ends of the earth. I think it's easy for us in the church to say, well, the ends of the earth should come to us. Or Samaria, as long as they adopt Judean ways, then I'm going to be comfortable with them. But Jesus is saying, you're going to take this message. You're going to be my witnesses in Jerusalem, in all Judea, and Samaria. So this message of the gospel of Jesus is not respectful of boundaries, the boundaries that we have placed as human beings. Well, they talk a little different. You could just make it up as you go along. Really, you could say anything that we've heard in the culture. And unfortunately, you can say a lot of things that people who call themselves Christ followers have said. Why don't we take care of our own people? Why don't we do this for our own people? We start saying those kind of phrases, and it's very important. Even the book of John tells us that they will know us by our love for one another, but Jesus also goes and expands our obligation to more than just each other, quote unquote. He is sending us people, is what he is saying, to go take this message out. So we're supposed to go out. We're also supposed to have an inward care and concern. But we don't just stop there. The inward care and concern that we have as a church is comfortable, right? We know how each other are going to respond. We know if you're low-hanging fruit, as far as the gospel is concerned, you're almost over the edge of converting to Christianity, accepting Jesus, and so you're almost there, so that's good. But Jesus says, no, I need you to take it out to the people who don't dress like you and who don't talk like you, maybe don't speak the same language. And it becomes uncomfortable the further outside of that circle that we get. But Jesus wants us to take this message to the nations. He loves us all. Well, as I make this video today, it's Thanksgiving week. What are you thankful for? I hope you have a great week.